speech tonight. We have a new member who is on a roll, on a tear. Her name is Francine. She did an excellent job 2 weeks ago answering one of my table topics questions, and now I have the honor of introducing her. She is speaking from the storytelling manual, which shows that she's, like last time she gave a speech, she was going ahead in manuals, not from the CTM manual, but from the advanced manual, which is very impressive for an early speaker in this club. Her speech is from the category of American folk story, which plays well to what I said about Pecos Bill. The title of her speech is The Lion and the Beetle. Here is Francine.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. President, fellow Toastmasters, and honored guests. This is American folktale, The Lion and the Beetle. Mr. Lion is very vain and a very proud lion. He loves to stomp around the jungle. I'm gonna fall there. Roaring. And whenever he saw his animal subjects, the giraffe, the ape, the elephant, he would always say, "I am a very mighty king." And he would roar, "I am a very mighty king." And they would all bow to him. One day, the lion looked into the mirror of the lake, and he was struck by his own greatness. What a beautiful and noble creature I am. I am a very mighty king. I am a very mighty king. The lion preened and posed and pranced in front of the glassy lake for hours, admiring his long mane and how beautiful he was and his greatness. I will show my devoted subjects that their leader is every inch a king. The lion put on his fancy robes, his gold crown, his medals of silver and gold. Yes, they were heavy, but he looked grand. He said, "I will have a meeting of all my animal subjects, the giraffe, the elephant, the gazelle, the hyena, and the apes." He sent messages to all the animals living in the jungle and inviting them to the meeting on the parade grounds of his palace, where they could admire him in all his glory. And so the animals came to see the lion, the giraffe, the elephant, the hyena, the ape, and many more animals came, including the zebra in his black and white coat, and the tiny little beetle, who had to stand on the side of the road so the big creatures would not stomp on him. And he was so little, he was walking along singing, "I am little and I am tiny, and people do not see me. I am little and I am tiny, and people do not see me, but on the inside, I'm as tall as the trees." When all the animals were assembled, there came a mighty trumpet from the elephant. And the lion came forth in all his grandeur, with his crown and his robe and his medals. I am the very mighty king, he growled. I am a very mighty king. The lion strutted and preened and pranced before his animal subjects, and the animals were awed by his splendor and bowed to him. The lion stomped through the rows of elephants and giraffes and apes and the zebra, who was in his black and white coat, roaring and growling to show how mighty he was. Then the lion saw the tiny beetle standing alone on the side of the road. The beetle was singing to himself, looking at the lion. I am tiny and I am little. People look down at me and they can't see me. I am tiny and I am little. And people look down on me and they can't see me. But inside, I'm as tall as the trees. Lion said to the beetle, you, beetle, bow before me. I am mighty. I am the king of the jungle. Your royal majesty, I know that I am small and I am tiny, but if you look closely, you will see that I am bowing. The lion replied, Beetle, you are hard to see down there. I am not sure that you are bowing to me. Lion leaned over, peering down at the tiny, tiny beetle. His splendid robes, his golden crown, his silver and gold medals, they were very heavy. He began wobbling and swaying, trying to see the little beetle looming over the beetle. Then the lion lost his balance and fell over on his head. And then he rolled, and he rolled, and he rolled down the hill into a ditch filled with mud. All the animals, they started to laugh and laugh and laugh and looked at the lion sprawled in the ditch full of mud. Frightened, the tiny little beetle scurried away. And the bedraggled lion scurried away too. He was very embarrassed. He was not so very mighty after all. The moral of the story is, it is the high and the mighty who have the longest distance to fall. Thank you.
May I have a timer's report?